Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to introduce Kathy Sukas, who authored this resolution, and she will read the resolution.
All right. Whereas the United States Congress has designated the second full week of April as National Public Safety Telecommunicator Week. And whereas the 911 professional is the vital link between the citizen and the public safety responder. And whereas the safety of our public safety responders is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained by the 911 call taker and situational awareness provided by an alert and well-prepared dispatcher. And whereas the critical functions performed by 911 professionals also include those related to medical pre-arrival instructions, crisis intervention, severe weather, highway safety, and other services that affect the health and safety of our citizens and responders. Whereas emergencies can strike at any time, we rely on the vigilance and preparedness of these individuals 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Rock County Board of Supervisors, duly assembled this 23rd day of March, 2017, that the week of April 9th through 15th, 2017, be designated as National Public Safety Telecommunicator Week in Rock County, in honor and recognition of our community's 911 telecommunicators and call takers, and the significant contribution they make to the safety and well-being of our citizens and responders. So usually I come up here, sometimes I bring people, sometimes I do the talking. So I wanted to try something a little different this year, and instead of me telling you the things that we do to help our public safety partners, I just thought I would have each of them from each discipline just speak a couple minutes about the vital service that our call takers and telecommunicators provide in public safety and how they are often overlooked for those things. So we will start with Chief Brandy Pickering from Edgerton Fire. We also have Sergeant Mike Blazer from Janesville Police and Dr. Chris Wistrom from Mercy Hospital. He's our medical director, MD1. So we'll have you start.
Thanks, Kathy. And I want to thank the board for doing this and recognize the telecommunicators. The telecommunicators are a very high-stress, high-risk type of position, right? Because they are the first contact when something is probably going wrong in somebody's life, and they do just an amazing job. That applies to communicators both here in Rock County, across the state of Wisconsin, and quite honestly across the country. But what I want to leave you with is just how unique we are here in Rock County. And I don't know that people truly understand the level of service and how unique it works here in the county. There's a national standard for taking a call and getting it dispatched to the first responders. Seconds matter in our business, whether it's law enforcement, EMS, or fire. The vast majority of dispatch centers across the country struggle with meeting that standard. I happen to have the opportunity, I sit on the Wisconsin State Fire Chiefs Executive Board. I'm also the Vice President of the MABUS Wisconsin, the mutual aid system for the state of Wisconsin. Rock County Dispatch is one of only a few in the entire country that not only meets the national standard, but exceeds it. And I don't know, again, that people really understand how well Kathy and her staff do in meeting that standard. The national standard is to get calls dispatched within a set amount of time, 90% of the time. Rock County Dispatch does it at 92+% of the time. And the other thing that I think is really amazing about that, many of you are in business. I'm a volunteer chief, so I have a day job running a business, right? And when I need to present something, statistics are great, right? Because you can make statistics look any way you want them by using the right set of subsets of statistics. The national standard allows dispatch centers to exempt certain calls from that 90-second standard. Rock County does not exempt anything. So the fact that they hit it 92% of the time includes all of those calls that other centers who don't hit it can even exempt to try to hit it. So you have a very, very special group of people working for you, working for all of us as citizens and first responders. I appreciate the fact that you're recognizing them, and I sincerely hope they understand how much we as first responders appreciate what they do for us. I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Chief. I'm Sergeant Mike Blazer with the Janesville Police Department. Part of my daily task is I'm uniquely situated as the supervisor of our crisis intervention team. This unit's been in place for about 2 years now. And where that relates to our telecommunicators is our job is highly effective when we have information. And when we talk about the mental health community and how law enforcement is required to make decisions in a split second, and how the wrong decision in a split second can change lives of community members, police officers, and an entire community in just that fraction of time, we rely heavily on telecommunicators to provide us that information. They have several computer systems, several information technology systems that they look at every day, and we demand a lot of them. My other job is as a SWAT team leader for the Janesville Police Department. And when you combine those two tasks, we're talking about the most high-risk events that law enforcement encounters. Just recently, this past week, the Rock County Communications Center partnered with our police department on a test program to use a mental health awareness flag for police officers. It's something we've been testing at the Janesville Police Department. When we encounter somebody that has a mental health issue, through observable behavior, medical release of information to us, we then flag those people as having a mental health issue. This information is vital to police officers when they're responding to somebody having a mental health event. We spent 10, almost 11 hours on Sunday and Monday partnering with the Rock County Communications Center to train them in what our crisis intervention team does and to provide that information to us in fractions of seconds when we need that information. You can sure imagine when police officers are going to a call of a potential suicidal subject or somebody threatening to do harm to others, that if we know this is a mental health event as opposed to a criminal event, this can drastically change the outcome of that event. And I can tell you, the professionalism, the professionalism and the expediency with which the Rock County Communications Center does it, we couldn't do our jobs without them. So I'd like to thank them.
Why did you make me go last?
You're a good closer.
We'll defend you, Kevin.
I'm Dr. Wistrom. Nice to meet you all. What's the best part of an Oreo cookie?
The milk.
Yeah, the stuff that keeps everything together, right? It's the middle. They get put in the middle of all of this. Has anyone in here called 911? A couple of you. Almost all of you will have to at some point in your life. And you're going to need a calm, rational, reasonable person on the other end who can put your problem together with the solution and make all that stuff happen as quickly as possible. I've been a part of public service for 20 years. There's nobody better at it than Rock County. Now, you've heard all of these things that these guys have been talking about the crisis intervention, about the dispatch times. But what you don't hear is that when crisis strikes someone's family, there is terror inside of them. And calling 911 and getting a hold of one of these dispatchers, they're calm, they're professional, they're getting help there, but a lot of people think that they can't do anything about it. It's a problem that I have trouble with because I'm a hands-on guy. But a great example of what they do, next week, the American Heart Association is lobbying up in Madison to try to bring CPR instructions to all dispatch centers in the state. In 2017, we don't have CPR instructions in all dispatch centers in the state. Unbelievable. How long do you suppose we've been doing it in Rock County? Any guesses? 20 years. 20 years ahead of the game these guys are. They're an incredible resource, an incredible asset. Our public service would not function without them in the middle. So that voice on the other end of the phone, that calm in the storm, that help through crisis, that instruction in pre-arrival care makes the difference in whether people live or die, period. It does. The hands-only CPR, the doing CPR prior to arrival of EMS is the single most modifiable factor in the survival of that cardiac arrest event. Rock County is third in the country in cardiac arrest survival rates from out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. Third in the country. Why third? Because we're not Denver and we're not Seattle and we're not an urban area. We're rural. We're the first in the rural areas when you compare statistics. And yeah, right, statistics. Mark Twain, lies, damn lies, and statistics. But to bring everything back home, they are what makes the whole network work together. Without the telecommunicators, without Kathy and her team, what the fire department does, what the police department does, what the sheriff's office does, what we do as medical professionals would not be possible. So we owe them a great debt, and we owe them a great gratitude, and I'd like to start the round of applause, if I may.